Narsimho Parato Narsimho Narsimho Yato Narsimho Toya Mitato Narsimho Bahir Narsimho Edae Narsimho Narsimhamadim Sharanam Prapade Tavakala Kamala Barenanka Abhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tano Bringa Keshavadvita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Vakala Kamala Barenanka Abhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tana Bringa Keshavadvita Narari Rupa Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo
Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki, Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. So thank you everyone for coming to Bhaktivedanta Manor today. It's a nice sunny day. You could have gone to the seaside or the fairground or many other places. We decided to come to the temple and participate in Arti and Kirtan and Sadhu Sangha and Katha. So you're all very intelligent people. It's called Buddhi Yoga, you know. So now we need to make just a little bit of space here because we're going to bring the Vyasasan and there's going to be a Bhagavad Gita class here in the temple room until 2 o'clock. And for the next 2 hours we are serving prasadam in the Haveli, lunch prasad. So if you can stay for the Gita class, you will really enjoy it. We have some very learned devotee who is going to share some secrets of Bhagavad Gita with you, and you're welcome to ask questions. Hare Krishna.
In this country, that actually jazz music is how open source. What's rent? Is there rent? It's just travel cousins. Not much. A little bit more.
I see every day. I put it on camera. I've taken camera. This morning, everybody does that. I show you. I put it on camera. There's no camera over here, but I come every day, Mother. Every day I take Rajbook 3 trays and Krishna told me as much as you can take. Every day come every day.
The mic, yeah?
Yes, Sunday.
You helping with the mic? You need the mic, yeah?
The other one. The other mic.
So I said he's testing the endurance and stamina that we have.
Okay. Hare Krishna. हो गया सुन आपको कोई स्टेप बना रहा है मेरा प्रोजेक्ट का नाम उनको दे दूंगा वहां का 1 मिनट लग जाएगा 1 मिनट लग जाएगा
No, I don't blame them. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, should I start?
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना जमुनातीरावनचारी जमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो ध्यायामुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रे Hare Krishna. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 22. Chapter 3 is entitled Karma Yoga. Okay. नामे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तम् अवाप्त्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि नामे पार्थासि कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानावाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि नामे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानावाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि word for word na not me mine partha O son of pratha asti there is kartavyam prescribed duty trishu in the three lokeshu planetary systems kinchana any na nothing avaptam wanted avaptavyam to be gained varte I am engaged eva certainly cha also karmani in prescribed duty translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Manor Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Pratha, there is no work prescribed from me within all three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described in the Vedic literatures as follows. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Daivatam Patim Patinam Paramam Parastad Vidama Devam Bhuvanesham Idyam Natasya Karma Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate Natat Samas Chabhyadisha Cha Trishyate Parashya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all controllers, and He is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under His control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all demigods and is the supreme director of directors. Therefore, He is transcendental to all kinds of material leaders and controllers and is worshipable by all. There is no one greater than Him, and He is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a bodily form like that of any other ordinary living entity. There is no difference between His body and His soul. He is absolute. All His senses are transcendental. Any one of His senses can perform the action of any other sense. Therefore, no one is greater than Him or equal to Him. His potencies are multifarious, and thus His deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. Svetashvara Upanishad, chapter 6, text 7 to 8. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. One who must receive the results of work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. And yet, Lord Krishna is engaged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra as the leader of the Kshatriyas because the Kshatriyas are duty bound to give protection to the distressed. Although He is above all the regulations of the revealed scriptures, He does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatpatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganar Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitamnam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvase Namaha Hare He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all of you all for the Sunday class of Bhagavad Gita. And thank you for the opportunity to be given to speak something on Bhagavad Gita. Normally I don't usually give classes, so I'm a bit nervous. So let's see how it goes. This is chapter 3 called Karma Yoga. Now, before we reach Karma Yoga, I just want to start with giving a very short summary of chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita and chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita as well. Does anybody over here have read Bhagavad Gita by any chance? Anyone? A little bit? Okay. So, Bhagavad Gita begins with basically, at Kurukshetra, we have the two teams, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, who have collected together to fight. The Pandavas being on the side of Dharma and the Kauravas being on the side of Adharma. So, at the start, we see, Arjuna, who is very, confident at this point of time, and then he wants to see. Okay, he asks Krishna to take me to the center of the battlefield, so that he can see both the sides, as to see who has come to fight. And what happens when Krishna drives his chariot to the center of the battlefield, and when Arjuna observes both the armies and he observes especially Bhishma and Drona, who are Kripacharya, and the sons of Dhritarashtra, his mind becomes to bewilder himself. He starts having thoughts. He is no more the confident person before the battlefield. He was no more the confident person when the conch shells was blown for the battle to begin. And then he starts. Arjuna says, what's the point over here of killing my own kingsmen? They were his own relatives as such. Bhishma, Drona, his own teacher. You would not think of fighting your own teacher as such. And then, of course, Dhritarashtra's sons, Duryodhana, accompanied by his 99 other brothers. But ultimately, they were his brothers as such. Still, he didn't want to fight. He said, what's the point of me fighting? Even if I win this war, what would I do with the kingdom thereafter? The people who I'm going to sit and enjoy with won't exist. They will die as a result of this battlefield. I will not be able to share this opulence with anybody. He said he's not ready to fight even in exchange for the 3 worlds at the start. He gave reasons to Krishna saying that, if we fight and all the people die, then irreligion will spread because there's no one there to protect. There's no one there to protect the young ones, the elders, the women in the family. And then, people would start become polluted. They will start following whatever, frivolous activities they'll perform. So he said that, even in because there are so many people who will die, even the forefathers will fall, because then there's no one to give them water or food. Arjuna was willing to walk away and live the life of a mendicant as such. And he thought, it is better that the sons of Dhritarashtra would kill him instead, unarmed and unresisting. And with such doubts, he cast away his Gandiva bow and sat down on the chariot. This is chapter 1. In chapter 2, which is entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. Now, as we see that, Arjuna then surrenders to Krishna and seeks his guidance. Now, Krishna, who is a charioteer over here, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but yet he is a charioteer. He takes the role of a charioteer. He assumes the position of a spiritual master. He first rebukes Arjuna, saying that, how come you have developed such impurities? It is not suitable for a Kshatriya as such. Then Krishna talks about the eternality of the soul, saying that, the soul takes birth, then passes through youth, old age, and then at death it takes another body. And all these people who have assembled over here have existed always, eternally. They had always existed, and after this battle they will always exist eternally. Of course, when he talks about the people existing, which means the soul, he is talking about the soul, not the physical body as such. And then Krishna says that, he quotes a famous shloka, Matra Sparshashtu Kaunteya Sitoshna Saka Dukkadaha Agama Pavinuntyam Tam Tidikshta Svabharata. that we must tolerate happiness and distress just like we tolerate seasons. We have summer, then we have winter. So, and then he goes on to talk about, about the eternality of the soul, that, the soul cannot be destroyed, it cannot be burnt, dried, cut into the pieces. For the soul, there is no birth or death, and the soul is unborn and ever existing. Krishna then urges Arjuna that as a Kshatriya he should have no hesitation to fight, because that was his prescribed duty. His duty was to protect the people. And also he describes that, even for a Kshatriya, suppose even if you die in the battlefield fighting, you will attain the heavenly kingdom. So you'll enjoy there. Or if you win, if you survive and you win the battle, then you enjoy the kingdom. So is there an issue over here? And suppose if he abandons his prescribed duty of not fighting, he would incur sin and would become infamous. Then Krishna talks about karma over here, that we must perform our prescribed duties without the expectations of fruitive activities. And we must not be, while performing the prescribed duties, we must not think of success or failure. Sometimes, just like Arjuna, if one Kshatriya fights a battle, then either he could win or lose. It depends, but he still has to go on to fight the battle, irrespective of what the result will be. The result is not in his hands as such. Now, thereafter, Krishna then talks about, touched upon the devotional service aspect, that, whatever work we do, it will give you a result. A result which will then bind you to this material world, whether good or bad. Both the results will bind you to this material world. You won't be free. And only performing devotional service will free you from this material world. Krishna talks about keeping our senses under control, and only if we keep our senses under control with steady intelligence and in Krishna consciousness, we will not be attracted towards the three greatest sin, which is lust, anger, greed, which will take us down to the doors of hell rather than heaven. Now, with that, the chapter 2 ends, and then we come to the third chapter of Karma Yoga. Preceding to this verse, Krishna describes that merely abstaining from work, one cannot be free from the reaction. Now, even if you don't act, you will still receive a reaction for not acting. Suppose as a householder, if you don't perform your duties of looking after your family, you receive a reaction to that. A superior person tries to control his active senses in mind and begins karma yoga without attachment to and in Krishna consciousness. We must perform our prescribed duties, for that is better than not working. Work must be done as a sacrifice to Krishna. Otherwise, it will cause a bondage. Now, in this verse, particularly, Krishna says, O son of Pratha, there is no work prescribed for me within all three planetary systems, nor am I want of anything, nor have I to obtain anything, yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Now Krishna says that, in this three worlds over here, the three worlds is compared to hell, earth and heaven. But Krishna is not just the proprietor or creator of these three worlds. If you see at that picture over there, we see Krishna and Radha and Krishna at Golok Vrindavan. From there we have multiple universes. In all these universes there's the three planetary systems. Krishna is the proprietor of all of it. Everything emanates from Krishna. Yet Krishna is saying that there is no work prescribed for him in these three planetary worlds. Krishna, by the mere thought, mere desire, can create these systems, can create many, many universes. And yet he says that, he's not, say, duty bound in any three prescribed in any three of the worlds, but nor does he desire. Krishna doesn't desire for anything. So with that, I'm going to tell you the story of Brahma Vimohan Leela as to prove that Krishna is the proprietor of many, many worlds as such. What happened after Aghasur was killed, Brahma, who saw the pastime of small Krishna, little Krishna, killing Aghasur, became a little bewildered and wanted to test the power of Krishna. So what he did was, after Aghasur was killed, Krishna and his friends wanted to have lunch. So Krishna was sitting in the middle, and all his cowherd friends would surround him and eat. And the calves which Krishna was looking after would go away, would be having grass just a little ahead. Now suddenly all the calves disappeared. So everybody started to look for it. Krishna said, okay, you wait, told his cowherd friends, you wait, I'll bring the calves, don't worry. So Krishna went to look for the calves. The calves were not there. When he came back, he saw his friends had also disappeared. Now, Krishna, with his potency, immediately understood that, it was Brahma who had stolen the calves and his friends. So what did he do? Did he chastise Brahma? No. Did he wage a war against Brahma? No, he didn't do that. Brahma was his devotee, so he had to bring Brahma back to the path of his prescribed duties. So what did he do? Krishna expanded himself in as many forms as there were many friends, as his friends, and the calves which were there. And for 1 year, Krishna had expanded himself in so many forms. Now apparently for Brahma, it is only a moment, because what he did was, he took the calves and Krishna's friends, put him at a place in Yoga Nidra, and then he came back to see what was happening. But by that time, a year had passed on earth. But Brahma was bewildered after seeing that, hey, how come these boys and calves are still there? I had taken them, I had personally taken them. He could see them up, but he could see them along with Krishna as well, playing. So Brahma was very, very bewildered at that time. What happened then was, then suddenly all the friends and the calves took the form of four-armed Vishnu. And then they all merged back into Krishna. Brahma was even more bewildered, seeing that, saying these were not his. These were not, should I say, these are not mere reflections. These were actual Vishnus, because they were decorated with they had their helmet, they had the Kaustubhamani on the chest, the Srivatsa on the chest, and everything. So he was like, they all are my lords. Not just that. Suddenly he found himself not just, he was not the only Brahma over there. Of course our universe is Chaturmukhi Brahma, our Brahma is Chaturmukhi. There were many other Brahmas present. Some with 10 heads, some with 100, thousands of heads. So he was very, very bewildered to see that. And then Krishna then, decided to show mercy on Brahma. And then and Brahma apologized for his activity. Then Brahma also sang prayers to Krishna. One of them, says that, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. That's where, Krishna, even Brahma says that, he is, that Krishna is the Supreme. He is the Ishvara over here. Now coming to the fact that, we have, Krishna says, he has to perform transcendental, he has to perform duty. Now prescribed duty, if you see the life of Krishna as a child, he was at the house of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, who belonged to the Vaishya community. So what is the task of Vaishya? To perform business, to protect cows. So what would Krishna do every day morning? He would take the calves and cows for the cows to graze some grass. When he moved to, of course, Krishna also performed, during that time Krishna also performed many other pastimes which are inhuman as such. Which are, for instance, lifting Govardhan Hill on his little left pinky finger. This shows that Krishna is supreme. Then, from there he moved on to Mathura. At Mathura, he was a young prince, but then he was sent to Sandipani Muni's ashram in Ujjain, where he studied all the 64 arts. So he can see that, he performed his duty of being a student over here. And then he came back to Mathura, where he now he acts as a Kshatriya. He protects Mathura from the attacks of various kings like Jarasandha. 17 times Jarasandha attacked Mathura. After that, Krishna moved everyone to Dwarika. Dwarika again, he not just got married to one wife, he had 16,108 wives. And then, and at Dwarika, each wife had a separate, he had 16,108 palaces where he kept them. Krishna was an ideal householder. We see that, Krishna would get up early morning in the Brahma Muhurat, and he would then freshen up, put on new clothing, and would then meditate upon himself. What does that teach us? That we must also get up early in the morning to meditate. Of course, we shouldn't be meditating on ourselves over here. We should be meditating on Krishna. Because Krishna is Ishvara. He is Bhagwan. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything emanates from him. So he has nobody else to meditate upon except for himself. But for us, we should learn to meditate upon, we must meditate upon Krishna. After doing that, Krishna would then, Krishna would then give charity to the Brahmanas. Every day he would give 13,000 groups of 13,084 cows to the Brahmanas as donation, where each cow would have a newborn calf, and their udders would be filled with milk. Krishna would, he was an ideal householder as such. That's because he kept all his wives happy. Not just that, once upon a time, what happened was Krishna presented a parijat flower to Rukmini. However, Satyabhama was a little feisty queen of Krishna. She also wanted parijat, but she would not be content with just a flower. She wanted the whole tree of parijat. So Krishna took her to Amravati. Amravati is not where some place in Maharashtra currently is. He took her to the Amravati is the capital of Indra, where Indra resides. That's where the parijat flower came from originally. So he took Satyabhama to Swargalok and plucked the entire parijat tree to bring it down to earth. Of course, Indra, who in the Govardhan Leela we see, he was chastised by Krishna, but he forgot all of that. He actually had fought with Krishna, but Krishna, being the supreme, he could subdue Indra very, very easily. The Krishna would spend time with his wife, children, grandchildren as such, then he would perform yagyas. He would meet the Brahmanas daily and discuss shastras. He would then then he would meet all the guests who had come to see him in the morning. Thereafter, after satisfying all the guests, he would then eat and leave for his kingly tasks. The hall where Krishna used to go in Dwaraka is called Sudharma. So what happens is when Krishna leaves, he leaves simultaneously from all his 16,108 palaces. And at some point, all these 16,108 Krishnas who had been in all these palaces would merge into one, and just one Krishna would walk into the Sudharma hall. There he would discuss the state matters, how's the subjects doing, whether they are performing dharma, and then You see, Krishna performed all his duties as such perfectly, without a fault. Similarly, we see Lord Ram. Lord Ram, we call him as Maryada Purushottam. He was a perfect son, a perfect student, a perfect friend, a perfect brother, a perfect householder as well. Lord Ram, he didn't have to perform any of these tasks, but yet he would perform. Same with Krishna. Krishna doesn't have to do all these things, but he does it. Why he does it? So that he knew that people will imitate him. What happens is people try to follow what the rich and famous do. So Krishna did not want to set a bad example for anybody as such. Of course, having said that, there are some tasks which he did was, you could say that it was not as per the Shastra, but these are some of these tasks are to establish dharma as such. Now, for instance, during the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna devised a plan to kill Dronacharya, and the plan was that Bhima kills one of the elephant who was named as Ashwathama, the same name as his son, and then King Yudhishthira goes and tells Dronacharya, saying that you go and tell Dronacharya that Ashwathama is killed. As such, it is a lie, but that lie was to establish dharma. Krishna, when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he accepted the order of sannyasa purely because he could, so that he could preach. Because if a sannyasi talks, then there is more effect on the people. So he took sannyas, and he was very, very strict in following the codes of sannyas. He would not, as a sannyasi, he would not associate with a lady even from a distance, nor would he meet any wealthy people as such. Once it so happened that there was a king of Puri called King Prataparudra. He wanted to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, when devotees asked him that that King Prataparudra would like to see you, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just kept his hands on his head and said, Vishnu, 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 what are you talking? I can't see a king. Of course, devotees being intelligent, they arranged a different way for King Prataparudra to receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With that, I'm going to end here and ask if there are any questions as such. We have seen now Krishna performing a duty of a Vaishya perfectly. We have seen Krishna doing the duty of a student perfectly. We have seen Krishna doing the duty of a Kshatriya perfectly. We've also seen at the battle of Kurukshetra, he takes the position of a charioteer, which is basically a job of a Shudra. See, he also does that perfectly. Krishna is always working very, very hard. For example, when Arjuna's son Abhimanyu was killed Arjuna took a vow to kill Jayadratha. And Krishna was worried, because the whole entire Kuru army would be protecting Jayadratha. And Arjuna took a vow saying that if by sunset tomorrow, if I cannot kill Jayadratha, then I will enter a pile of fire and give up my body. So Krishna, obviously, in the next day of the battle, there was millions and millions of soldiers trying to protect Jayadratha. We could see how Krishna, being an expert charioteer, drove Arjuna towards Jayadratha. And in the end, Krishna, literally there was very, very few seconds left just before the sunset. Krishna sent a Sudarshan Chakra to cover the sun, so that it appears that the sun has set, but it wasn't. And the moment that happened, Jayadratha himself came out, and then he asked Arjuna to kill Jayadratha. People condemned Arjuna, saying that, how could you kill Jayadratha? The sun has set. But just then, Krishna removed the Sudarshan Chakra from the sun, and there was sunlight. And then the very next moment, the sun set. So we see, Krishna performing his duties perfectly, even as a charioteer, as such. So what are the lessons over here for us to learn? That, for us, we have to perform, we have two duties. We have the duty towards this body, and we have a duty towards the soul. As such, we perform all the bodily actions. From this body, we have all our relationships. We have our father, mother, wife, husband, kids, whom we are supposed to look after. But is that all? Is that all the life is all about? No. We also have to have a duty towards our soul. We can only be happy, truly happy, if we are connected to Krishna. If someone is full, he can only become full because he has Krishna in his life. He can be only truly be happy then. Else we can't. Even as much as we try, all our happiness is momentary. Everything. We are always in need of something or somebody. For instance, how many of you were very excited to get a new phone? Is the same happiness you have after 1 week of buying that new phone? No. It's all momentary. But if we add Krishna to our life will become happy and successful. With that, I'll end the class over here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any questions? One final question? Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Bye.